I need to do a big sigh, a really big sigh. Okay, this wasn't planned, but I just need to shine the light on this situation because that's what it needs. It needs the light. It needs positive action. It just needs the light now. It needs the light. It's been in the dark for way too long. Okay, so please bear with me. I feel like I wasn't ready to talk about this in such detail, and I'm always saying that the universe is pushing me to my knees. Well, I feel like this is what's happening, and I got a warning about it this morning, and I knew this was going to happen, and I hate that I know these things. And as I was saying in the last video, I hold on to things and I wait for things to materialize because, to be honest, I hate being right, and especially about stuff like this. Really about stuff like this, because it means that the next lot of stuff that I know that's going to happen is going to happen, and that's not any good either. So I feel like, not that it's up to me to change the trajectory, if that's even the right way of saying it, but I just feel like, yeah, we need to shine some light on the situation. Okay, so I've just received a message to say that I can't see my son. And the reason is because he doesn't want to go to nursery. And he hasn't been to, this will be the second time that he's not gone. My son absolutely adored his nursery and would jump out of bed and get dressed and eat his breakfast in the van to get to nursery quicker. He loved his key worker, and I mean absolutely adored. It's making me want to cry. He would get into the van and say that she was amazing. He was really, really happy at nursery. Really, really happy. And okay, let me just try and hold it together. The reason my son doesn't want to go to nursery is because he doesn't feel safe. And that's the reason why kids don't want to do things, that they don't want to be away from their caregivers, is because they don't feel safe. This has everything to do with attachment style. You can do your own research into what this is. When children don't have a good attachment style to their caregivers, then they start becoming really unsafe and they act unsafe. They'll not want to be away. They'll not want to be independent. They'll not, when I mean interdependent, not independent. They will become clingy, emotional, less buoyant, less wanting to try new things. As I said, you can go and do your own research into attachment style. Every morning since my son has stayed with his dad, I have woken up at the same time as him every single morning, and I've had butterflies in my stomach. that to me means he doesn't feel safe, which is upsetting for me. This is the same feeling I would get every single time my son would be with his dad, even from being a baby. I would get the same feeling. Okay. Me and my son were victims of domestic violence. I had support from IDAS, a domestic violence agency. They were on the labour ward with me. The lady, Shelley, was with me when Louis was hours old, trying to convince me to get help. And I could not see the seriousness of what was going on at the time, and I actually made every excuse to get rid of her and told her, he's not hitting me, he's not hitting me, everything's fine, you're making things worse. If he finds out that you're here, everything will go wrong. And I kept telling her to leave and leave me alone and leave us alone. Because I thought that because I thought I was protecting Louis. By protecting his dad. But all I was doing was shielding us from help. I was shielding us from help and support. Because I didn't understand at the time what was actually happening. And it's the same thing that's happening now. Exactly the same thing that's happening now. I want to say this because it's important. I don't ever want to stop Louis from seeing his dad. And I want to make that very, very clear. I don't believe in parental alienation. I don't think it's right. And I have done and I will do everything to support that relationship to continue. What relationship that is only up to his dad. I have no control over that, and I don't want any control over that. I can't show up for his dad. Louis's dad walked out 2 weeks after Louis was born. And it was the right decision for everyone involved. And I didn't argue and I didn't fight to get him back because I knew that it was the right thing to do. I knew that he had somebody else. I knew that he was seeing other people whilst he was with me. And I understood him as a person. And I understood what was going on. I also knew what was going to happen in the coming months and the coming years. And I knew that it would be more of the same. because Domestic Violence Agency was involved, they wanted to get social services involved at the time. Louis' dad told me that if I involved social services into his family, or if they would come anywhere near us, he would stop me from seeing his daughter. He did that anyway. When he told his daughter that we were breaking up, she stamped her feet and said that she wanted to stay with me. At the time, the only thing that I could think of was how much that would have hurt him. That's the only thing that I could think of. How much that would hurt. And that's the only thing that I still think about that. I don't think it's winning. I don't feel like I've got one up on him. All I can think of is how much that would have hurt him. And everything that's happened after that point, and the reason why he's gone after my character and tried to ruin me, and why this is still going on, and the reason why he's keeping Louis from me, is because of that one thing. Because of how much that hurt him. And all of this, what is happening, is because of how much pain he's in. And that he doesn't want anybody to know that. And I have said that no one would hear about it from me. Because I didn't want to be the one. I didn't want to be the one to bring it to light. But this is the mission. This is what I'm meant to be doing. It's always shoot the messenger. Always. Whatever truth it is, the amount of times I have tried to help people and had my character smeared for being honest. I honestly don't care about winning or losing or gain or profit or whether people like me or not. That's not what I'm interested in. All I'm interested in is peace. That's it. That's what I want for every single person in the world, is peace. Things don't have to be the way they are. We don't have to live in fear. We don't have to live cowering away. We don't have to be scared about what people think of us. And that's how we change. That's how we get better. And that's why I'm speaking out so honestly about my life and things that I've done, and things that I will do, and I will not stop. I will not stop. I'm more determined than ever, and that little boy inspires me every single day, and that's the reason why I'm sitting here. We do not deserve to feel unsafe. None of us do. And that's the message. That is the goal. Safety for all. I am a safe place. I am a safe place for Louis's dad. And the mistakes that he's made. It's already forgiven. I've told him that. Louis deserves to feel safe. And have his mummy. And have his daddy. And I don't want to break that connection. I've never wanted to break that connection. I'm sick of having to defend my character and who I am and what I'm about, while everyone slags me off behind my back. I am not that person. I am not. I made it very public that I had gotten rid of every single scrap of evidence. Every single text message, every single email, everything. That was my white flag to finish this situation, to say, right, okay, the past is gone, let's move forward. I've said it so openly so many times, and they still keep coming, still phoning social services to try and get me done. And now keeping my son away from me, on what grounds? He is losing himself. This is what happens to people who feel unsafe. They lose who they are. No one should feel like that. No one has the right to take safety away from anybody. I am a safe place. I'm not out to get anybody. I'm not out to hurt anybody. All I feel is everybody's pain. I feel my son's pain. This is not how the way things have to be. This is not. We can literally make a U-turn and start a completely different story, a completely different adventure. I don't care about what's happened in the past. I care about the future. I care about now. I care about things now. We only have control in the now. What happens now? And I'm saying I want peace. I want peace for everybody. And if that means that I have to stand in front of everybody and take a bullet, then I will do. And that is what I am doing. I will take the bullet. I will stand in front of everybody and take the pain away. I will shield everyone from hurt. Because I know what's waiting on the other side. I know how painful it is to change. I know how painful it is to admit that we make mistakes. I've made thousands of them. Millions. But that doesn't mean that we can't turn it around. It doesn't mean that we can't change. In every moment, in every opportunity, we have a choice. We have a choice to choose. The power of choice in any moment. A choice on how to react. Do you know this morning I knew. Do you know, for so long, I have been hiding all the stuff that I know. I honestly have had so many breakdowns about coming out about what I really know. Because it's hard to be liked. It's hard to fit in. It's hard. It's really painful being shunned and turned away and put down for knowing the truth, knowing the future, knowing what's really going on. But to me, it's now my job. I think I've faced every single demon that's come to me. And I've won every single time. And every mission that I've been told to go on, I've done diligently and to the best of my ability. And every time I've been rewarded. And it's been fucking painful. I can't even tell you. Some of it has been so painful. I'll just say again, I'm not here to hurt anybody. But I must continue to do what I'm doing. I must keep shedding light. I must keep bringing the light. It's needed. And I know that there's so many women and men going through this at this time, being alienated from their family, being alienated from their children. being alienated from love, being isolated. We're not meant to live this way. We're not meant to live this way. It's a form of torture. That's why it's a form of torture. I just want to say again, I'm more determined than ever. Please don't be fooled by the tears. It's literally just releasing energy. That's all it is. I'm more fired up than ever. I'm more determined. I will keep going. I will keep pressing on. This year's going to be freaking huge. Huge.